Hello everyone, my name is Samuel Kander and welcome back to another video. If this happens to be your first, thanks for tuning in, and if you're returning, I really do appreciate it, you coming back. So as you may or may not know, it is indeed the holiday season. Hanukkah has already passed and Christmas and Kwanzaa are coming for us as we speak. I myself celebrate Christmas and therefore participate in Christmas related activities. You know, looking at pretty lights, decorating my room, and of course, watching Christmas movies. Oh boy, what are you doing here? I have an interesting relationship with Hallmark and Lifetime movies. Yes, I appreciate them as some are pretty decent. Well, Last Christmas is not a Hallmark movie, but it has a very similar plot. I don't know if it's just me, but I consider Hallmark a genre, specifically when looking at Christmas movies. You know, Miss Business is all about her business and has to go somewhere for the business, and it's during the holiday season, but certainly she won't fall in love because she's all about business until she meets a strong, handsome, or tortured man who teaches her the true meaning of Christmas, which somehow ends in her leaving her career. Some are more egregious than others. In fact, that was the entire point of this video initially, to find the worst Hallmark movies and review them, because honestly, I think when they're that bad, they at least have the redeeming quality of being funny for no reason I'm sure the writers intended. But today we're kind of walking the line here. This movie is not terrible and it has some redeeming qualities and is overall decently enjoyable. The movie I'm talking about is A Christmas Prince. If you happen to have seen my Halloween video, which is not on my channel because I had a copyright issue and deleted the timeline before I could fix it, don't look at me like that, I learned my lesson. Anyway, if you've seen that video, then you know I have a troubled relationship with this movie. It was not particularly my favorite when I watched it a couple of years ago, but I decided to give another chance because this year someone kept pestering me about it. So here are my thoughts on the incredibly popular A Christmas Prince. This movie is unapologetically a Hallmark movie. Everything I described earlier is this movie. You have a socially awkward protagonist, Amber, who is focused on her career, specifically rising through the ranks of a magazine company as she's currently stuck in her editor position with her friends, who I think is a very poorly implemented diversity, a bit tokeny, if you will, but I appreciate the try from a movie from 2017. Anyway, of course, Amber gets her big break and gets an assignment to follow around the Playboy Prince Richard of Aldovia, which sounds very Slavic for some reason, but they're all British. She goes to a press conference and surprisingly, the prince doesn't show up. With the press conference cancelled, she decides she can't go home empty-handed, so she sneaks into the castle. Gasp! Who would have guessed she gets caught, but is conveniently mistaken for the tutor of the queen's daughter. Excuse me, her Royal Highness. This is a very common theme throughout the movie. Everything is convenient, which is generally frowned upon in film, but I think it's why Hallmark movies work so well. Generally, in my opinion, the appeal of a Hallmark movie is that it really draws you in. You can't walk away or turn the channel because you have to figure out what's gonna happen, right? So I think these movies generally just go fast between plot beats because it's kind of what keeps you invested. The plot may not be any good, but at least it's efficient. I also want to bring attention to something here that I very much do like. Honor Neefsey is a pretty strong actor for being 12 at the time of filming. She has a really good banter with Rose McEver, who plays Amber, as well as Ben Lamb, who plays Prince Richard. Speaking of Prince Richard, guess who meets him? That's right, Amber. Yes, he may be covered in that massive beard, but of course our socially awkward protagonist embarrasses herself by destroying very old pottery. Who would have guessed? I'm being mean for the content, guys, not actually that annoying. Amber begins to tutor Emily, which goes about as well as you think when there's this really forced moment that comes out of nowhere that really just dumps exposition straight onto the lap of the audience. Emily expresses that Amber must look down on her, but Amber, being the pure soul that she is, does not look down on Emily just for being royalty. This whole moment leads to them becoming fast friends, which of course helps get the plot along to where it needs to be. But first, we must see Prince Richard and his "oh no, he's hot," and Amber knows it. Next, we are introduced to our very anti-Christmas spirit antagonist, Simon. Pardon me, Count Simon. Now, I don't mean he's anti-Christmas in a sort of Grinch way, but he's very much a jerk and honestly the funniest way possible. I actually really like that this movie makes sure that no single character like Simon, even Sophia, who Simon eventually marries, well, at least for the moment, I can't say I particularly blame them. He's legitimately a where my hug at guy, and he is immediately rejected by Sophia, who serves as this movie's competition for some reason, because it's clear that Amber at this point likes Richard. I mean, who wouldn't? But we of course have to have some political contention with Simon and some romantic competition with Sophia, who is an old flame of Richard's. As I mentioned earlier, Hallmark movies move fast, so I will too. Amber continues to bond with and eventually kiss Prince Richard in Richard's dead father's cabin. Gasp, I know. Their blossoming romance continues and they find a mystery with Richard's dead father, which, by the way, Amber's mom is also dead, so they have that kind of bond, if that's something that you look forward to. There's also some acorn riddle, which I forgot to mention, from Richard's late father that will be important in a minute. And of course, Amber has to be invited to the ball at the castle and get a wonderful little makeover where she walks in and everyone is jealous of her and like, wow, she's so beautiful, especially Sophia. But of course, we can guess that we know what's going on. But gasp, Amber is revealed to be a journalist and a liar. She uncovered Prince Richard's adoption papers, but they were found by Simon and Sophia, who are now working together, who reveal them at Richard's coronation at the ball, proving that he can't be next in line for the throne, which, by the way, is this whole movie's plot. Richard leaves in a rush, and so does Amber. She's crying at the airport on the phone with her fortune cookie father, when, gasp, she discovers the meaning of the acorn riddle and rushes back to Simon's coronation and proves that Richard is the rightful king, but leaves before it's over and goes back home. Quits her job, told you, and works at her father's diner because the magazine doesn't want to run the story that the prince, now king, is actually a good person. So now Amber has started her own blog, which has like 20,000 likes, whatever that means. Then King Richard II somehow tracks her down, which the movie never really addresses, and I think that's actually kind of creepy. Anyway, he proposes to her, which Amber says is pretty fast, and Richard is like, is that a no? And she's like, no, it's yes, and the movie ends. Oh, that was a lot, and it wasn't even everything. Look, obviously, I'm not suggesting that you watch this movie because I just kind of ruined the entire plot, but to be honest, rewatching it was fairly fun, especially if you get some friends together and laugh at it. So yeah, this movie isn't great. The acting isn't bad like some Hallmark movies. It's actually pretty good for most of the characters. There's just a lot of really bad exposition and some really corny lines, but you get what you pay for. If you went into this expecting something better, then that's on you. Is it a good time? Begrudgingly, sure. Are there a lot of relations and as well as cute, corny moments that I really like Amber's and Emily's dynamic? I get the impression that their actors have a really good chemistry, so yeah. Go watch it, I guess, but that's only an I guess. This movie and I still have beef. Anyway, that'll do it for me. I'm not entirely sure what this was, but happy holidays once more. Hope you all have a good holiday season. Please go and enjoy holiday activities in whatever way you wish, but make the most of it because there's only one holiday season in the year. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to keep up with my content, then feel free to subscribe. Also, like and comment, as that really helps with my YouTube algorithm overlords. Tell me what your favorite Hallmark movie is, maybe one I should check out. You know what? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Why not? That works too. Also, ring the bell if you want to precisely know when a video comes out. I try and do it every 2 weeks, but to be honest, I get a lot of copyright strikes, so I have to delay my videos. Anyway, thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.